Damn.
Hey everyone, welcome to Aero Sentinel's channel. Today we are going to go over the compressor. This one is going to be slightly different than rifles. This one is the high pressure compressor. We just got it in a few days ago, 2-3 days ago, and we're gonna go over first impressions, what we think about it and that sort of deal. It's a dual stage. We'll pop up a picture here and so that you have an idea of what that is, what we're talking about, what it comes with, what you see here on the table, as well of course as the big compressor, which is a decent size compressor. It's dual. It's a dual cylinder type of compressor. It's supposed to be quieter, that sort of deal. Supposed to fill up faster because of its dual cylinder type design. It's almost like taking two yong hengs supposedly and combining them, okay, to make it one system. So that's what this is about. We're gonna go over, and towards the last half of this video we'll show you running, how it is. We pretty much, when we receive it, we make sure everything is nice and tidy. A few things were loose. The battery compartment for the gauge, the thermometer gauge, was open, and I don't know if it's supposed to come with battery or it just fell out, but all of the yong hengs came with already battery, pretty much plug and play, that sort of deal. This one didn't. Good thing we had some spare batteries. So we put it on, and the first thing we noticed is, as soon as we put in the battery, well, we find out that the gauge is faulty. It reads in, well, the gauge meaning the digital gauge for the thermometer, and we'll show you that in the video when the next half of this video. But you know, in short, we put in the battery, it powers up, and it reads high. It's 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which I guess it's normal, right? Maybe that's ambient temperature. Okay, I might take it, but ambient temperature is not around 77 degrees Fahrenheit. The other thing is, it's supposed to be calibrated. For my understanding of how the system is, it's supposed to start at 0, and then as it climbs, then it reads the actual temperature. Not, but anyway, I don't know. It doesn't work. It says high on the gauge. It flickers between 77 degrees Fahrenheit and high, HI. I guess it's telling you high temperature. Didn't even plug it in. It's not even running. and the thermometer end portion, we'd have to figure out where to plug it in. Thankfully we have yong hengs, so we kind of know how the thermometer end portion goes in. So we just look for a small little hole, plug it in, and that's it. The other thing we noticed is it, of course, in the package, it's boxed not as well as the yong hengs come. It's boxed, but it's not in a very protective, where the yong heng comes in a pretty much very thick box, very thick, and on top of that it's foamed in all sides. This one is pretty much the compressor in a standard cardboard box, and then fitted into a pretty precisely fit type another cardboard box, a standard cardboard box. So yeah, it's double boxed, but if they don't take care, it's gonna get damaged. Thankfully ours, with just some scratches, probably from factory, on the paint job, very minor, and some dents, which is minor. We don't really care. We're not that picky, but again, we went through it, make sure everything's nice and tidy. We noticed the wiring was disconnected, came loose. Luckily they thought ahead by making sure that the connector, male pin, and the female the butt end connector is the same color, so it's not very hard to mix up. But just if that happens to you folks, which could very easily during shipping or whatever, but we plugged that in and checked everything else, make sure nothing was loose, all the bolts were nice and tight, and that was it. The confusing part was the auto valve. It looks like there's a little area where something might connect, and you're kind of wondering, okay, is that where that like what goes there, right? But from past experience with things of this nature, I kind of know with the connection and everything that is the auto pressure relief valve, or vent valve for moisture. Okay, the auto vent valve for moisture, or whatever the case. I don't know what the name is. Everything is in Chinese. This one seems like it comes with a few paper that's in some English, majority Chinese, with some stamps. I'm guessing these are just shipping certificates and description of it, but that's it. That was inside the packing slip on the box. It came with a envelope. This one was specially custom made, but they packed it well. Not so much custom, it didn't take much, because originally they said they were gonna make a sign for us, airbrush it in, but due to their new year coming up, they didn't do it. They won't have time, so they sent stickers instead that mentioned our name. So 4 total stickers. It's nothing fancy. You'll see it on the compressor. So there's 2 here and 2 on the compressor. Comes with a standard 110 or 220 type cable, power cable. So this one is removable now, not like the yong hengs where it's hard lined in to the compressor itself. This one pretty much you can plug it just like a PC, a computer, plug it in, remove it when you're done, that sort of deal. I don't know what this is for, but that was just an empty package. A few things here. So it comes with some O-rings and a few cigarette filter looking thing for this little filter. which is, it comes on this end with fitting. Of course there's no filter in here, but we'll probably put that in. But the other thing is, well, what do we do here? So it comes with a plug on one end on the compressor, the one that's already hooked up to the hose, the feed hose that would connect to your PCP or your tank. So it comes with a plug, okay, a quick connect plug, which is nice if you want to validate pressures, right? If the gauge is accurate. And then it comes with this, which is a quick connect, just it doesn't go here, we don't know where it goes, but this is a female and this is a female, so something obviously is wrong. And the hoses that's on there is quick connect, so something's missing, okay? And there's no way to connect this to a quick connect that would go onto the stuff, so we decided not to use it anyway. It's missing, so that's that. It comes with O-rings, a number of them, but good luck trying to figure it out on where they would go without tearing apart the compressor completely, because the, what did we do? Ah, here it is. Because this is the manual, folks. A packing list of what comes with it. Says 1 compressor, 2 rubber hoses. Oh yeah, the rubber hoses, they're on the compressor. Of course they came in here neatly coiled up, but this is the water pump. It's water cooled, just like how the yong hengs are. But the problem is, it says female connector, I don't know what that is. Okay, so I'm guessing that's this, okay, the one we're talking about. But where do you connect it? The male obviously doesn't fit here, okay. Water pump, alternate packages, 5 of them. I don't know what that means. Water pipe, 6 water pipe. Don't know what that is. Maybe I have no clue. Okay, 7 power cable. Okay, maybe it's because it's all assembled, I don't know. 8 instruction manual. Oh, never mind. It's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Quantities are 1 of each except for the water pipe. I think they meant to say water hose. There we go. Now we understand. That's my bad. So 1 compressor, 1 rubber hose. No. Maybe 1 rubber hose. I don't know. 1 female connector. Okay, maybe that's the one we're talking about. 1 water pump. 1 alternate packages. Don't know what that is. Maybe it's this. Or this. Or these. Water pipe. Maybe water hose, because there's 2 pieces. So the short ones, like about yay long. Better longer, but again, this is a we decided not to put this on because we have a high output one that rated for a much higher flow rate. Of course, it doesn't help any that the tubes are that size and the compressor piping is small, so what's the use of high pressure? But it'll help with the flow rate better, at least. Manual. This is it. This is the manual. It's very, very simplistic. Tells you warning, product description, then gives you a quick diagram. I mean a quick picture, okay, of and we'll probably put some pictures up of what we're looking at with regards to this manual. But yeah, I mean, it tells you protection switch, it says power switch, a gauge. So there's two switches on the pump. This does not tell you what those two switches are. I figured it out, being that I'm an electronics technician. I figured out that, well, it's simple. There's a pressure valve, and that switch, there's a cable to it hooking up, so I know right away that it was a automatic pressure valve, or you know, to release the condensation or water buildup or whatever you call it, okay? But that's the smaller switch. Then there's a power switch, okay? This also does not show a picture of what mine has, which is it has the pressure relief valve or auto release valve, but you know, that's basically it. All right, it shows a picture of the top of the compressor, which of course is just a gauge, two power switches, and the thermal gauge. So the main gauge, which is the dial gauge, the analog gauge, it's automatically set. The steps, step number one, this is how simple it is. Step number one, open the oil seal, add the engine oil. It should be placed on edge of red dot, okay? Number two, twist the breathing rods, okay? Number three, connect water pump, okay? Number four, connect high pressure container. Shows connecting a tank. Okay. Turn on power. Okay, but does not tell you which power. There's two of them. Okay. Number six, tighten release screw. Okay, that's the pressure relief valve. Similar to that in yong heng, except they have one. Okay, yong heng has two on either side of it, which is good, simplified. Number seven, when achieve the pressure, number seven, when achieve the pressure, the preset pressure, release first and turn off power finally. Okay. Reminder, people should not leave when inflated. Okay. Number two, when compressor is running, the water pump must be working status. Okay. Number three, the more water, the better cooling effect. Okay. That's your instruction. No diagram. They offer a bunch of O-rings and seals, which is great, but no diagram, which of course for us, we know how to tear it apart if need be, and we can pretty much figure it out. But it would be great if, but that's typical of the Chinese compressors or manufacturing. But the yong hengs is the same. They come with a few things here and there, but at least they have a breakdown, a little bit better manual, not by much, but better manual, slightly better, not by much, like I said. But again, that's it. Our thoughts, well, it's quiet, not silent. The description is Asicare 2020 high pressure 4500 PSI PCP air gun silent air compressor. The website showing, you know, in AliExpress or Alibaba, 360 or 3, I can't remember, but the person I dealt with, it's great, you know, for the most part. Very responsive, so that's a plus. The thing is, the compressor was originally $339, but the shipping would have been $232, which went to about $571. And I said, well, it's not that much of a difference in weight and size when boxed up together in comparison to Yong Heng, but why is that much higher? It's almost the cost of an entire compressor just to ship it. So the person indicated, well, we have another shipping company, they're reliable, but let me find out. Got a quote. It came out not bad. It's still expensive because of the size and the weight. It's a 29.2 kilograms, which is 64 pounds approximate, and so now my total to me was 510. So from $232 shipping, it became 171. Okay, I'll take it. If that's the best they can do, I'll take it. I really wanted to try it. It was my prediction at one point that by the time my 3 compressors would have died, my Yong Hengs, they haven't died yet. I've had them for 2 years now. All of them are all functional. But my prediction initially, before this even came about, was that, and I wanted to do it with mine since I had 3, I could combine the 2 Yong Heng compressor. I could modify them and combine the 2. And then I decided, service-wise, because I periodically service them myself, that would be difficult to do. So I just didn't do it. And I thought to myself, and even on Facebook and some of the groups out there, I said, hey, if they were smart, you know, these companies out there, they would make a dual head or dual cylinder or an even high output in comparison to the Yong Heng, quieter. And sure enough, next thing you know, this model pops up, which is a perfect prediction, actually, thanks to me, but no. Really, you know, that was the only way to go upgrade from there. And so I was very interested, of course. I was more interested in proving it wrong, that it said completely quiet. There is no way anything of high pressure is going to be completely quiet. So I knew coming in. You know, to cut it short, yes, it somewhat works. We tried it. You'll see it on the video. We run it for less than 3 minutes, maybe 2 minutes tops in the video. I can't remember. But we run it for a little while. The cycling and the pressure is not as constant as the Yong Heng. It seems that the Yong Heng is a lot more stable and constant than this compressor. I can say that because with confidence, because I noticed the gauge on my tank gauge, which is fairly accurate. I've tested it and compared it between other gauges. It's fairly accurate, and the gauge bounces like this. I mean, it's typical when it's non-oiled, okay? It's to keep the vibration, but this one goes like this, like you can't even see exactly where it's at with this new compressor. The Yong Heng, when it's hooked up to my tank, the gauge is pretty much stable, okay? So that tells me that the valving and the cycling is, it leaves much for improvement. Maybe they need a better check valve in place, one-way valve, I'm not sure, but that potential, I may modify and put in a high pressure one-way valve in line just to make sure that that stays stable, so that there's no back and forth of pressure, because that's not a good thing. Okay, that means that that compressor will break. Okay, so to extend the life, I will add a one-way valve in line to the output side. Okay. The other thing I noticed is that it is quiet. It's about when the yong heng starts go to a higher RPM or higher output pressure, and it starts to work harder. It goes from 90 dB, 99 dB to 100, somewhere around 100. I can't remember exactly, but it's on the video. We'll show it here on the next half. But again, it turned, and then we compared. You can see it. Problem is, after we ran it, transferred to test the yong heng in comparison, it's definitely quiet, quieter than the yong heng. And mind you, the yong heng has already been tamed. We did some modification to quiet it down, but it would be much louder on the yong heng. But the short of it is, yes, it's quieter by a tolerable. You can tell that it's quiet. Problem is, because of the rubber feet. So there's rubber bushing and rubber feet. So when it's running, it actually will walk away. Okay, will start to walk away. So you have to kind of strap it in place so that it doesn't move about because of the vibration and the rubber feet. Okay, so there's a rubber feet for the main motor to the chassis of the entire compressor, and then on top of that, the chassis for the bottom part of the whole compressor, there's rubber feet as well. So with all of that vibration, that's why it's also quiet. But again, and the dual head, that's supposed to make it more efficient, which minimizes the hard work, so it doesn't go into a higher sound level. Yeah, but efficient, it's not, because the yong heng tops off my bottle faster than this can do. And then on top of that, it's failed already. Okay, the gauge is off by a significant amount. It's supposed to top off my tank at 40. So we set the auto stop to a 4200 PSI. It reached that, and it's nowhere near 3800. Okay, so there's a significant gap in variation. So the gauge itself, so it shut off after such a short period. It shut off, and then we turned it off, turn power off, then release, blah blah blah, this and that, and then we tried it again to turn it on. It won't turn on anymore. So obviously there's power. We left it off for a little while, maybe let it reset. So it's bad, it's dead, it doesn't work, it's not as efficient. I keep my yong heng and hang on to it, but anyway, it's cost that much to ship it back, that sort of deal, and it's bad. We'll see the response. I gave them a message, hey, just kind of update them. The person that I was dealing with, and said, hey, this is what's failed. Stay tuned for the video. You'll see. So hang on for that. We'll see what the response is, and take it from there. But we'll let you know. But it is quiet. But other than that, that's it. I mean, it's not as efficient, meaning the pressure output isn't what I expected, being that it's a dual head. So we'll take it from there, and hang tight for a full review. We'll let you know if we fixed it ourselves, or they have a solution, or they'll send us a new harness, or there's fuses that's blown or whatnot, or they'll give us technical support. But I don't want to tear it apart without them first confirming that I will not void warranty, okay? Because I don't want to be at fault. It's dead. Okay, so I want to get their permission first before I start touching the crap out of it.
People on YouTube, you call me a homo, but you think I stand by this? Well, that shit is a no-go. You're all coming one because what